I think we'll start now. Okay. A podcast. Right now. Did I pop it all to hell and back with that guitar? Hello and welcome, ladies and gents, to Podcast Right Now, episode 181. It's Easter, April 4th, 2021. My name's John Michelle. On the podcast this week, we got $1,000 dog. We also have a Carl Jr. on board. Hello, Carl. He waved on a podcast. Oh. Hi, how you doing? Yeah. And then back again, back in the audition seat for permanent Podcast Right Now residency. He's the Super Shark. He's Shark Johnson. Chomp chomp. Hello, Joel.
Hi.
How are you, man?
Chomp. I'm good. Fins up.
You look good. Fins up. Episode 181, Easter. How are you guys doing? Are you celebrating the resurrection of Christ, our Lord and Savior?
Pretty good. We had a festive dinner spread.
Nice.
Had some ham, had some green bean casserole, some collard greens with bacon in them.
Ooh.
And yeah, so I just ate a whole bunch and then got sleepy watching Godzilla vs. Kong.
There it is.
It's a good movie to fall asleep to.
Oh yeah, you like them. You like them.
A short review of that movie.
Well, and you like them loud.
Not a lot of plot.
No, Kevin likes to fall asleep to really loud movies. Lots of explosions and collapsing buildings, and yeah.
Yeah, it's like white noise.
What were we watching when you were asleep in the theater, and it was just all
Man
the
of
noises?
Steel.
Yeah.
It was Man of Steel, IMAX, theater.
Yeah.
And but I had a hell of a nap. So it was good.
Yeah, and that movie kind of sucked, so I think you made the right choice there. Yeah, what did I do? I went over and saw my mama, saw my other brother, and yeah, we had a ham, and we had some beans, and we had some salads, and we had a couple full-strength tennies, and it was great to get together. I mean, everyone's feeling pretty vaccinated, and it's just so nice to hug your mom and your dad after a year. So good times. Saw my dad and his wife earlier today. They came over. We did Easter baskets for the children. The Easter Bunny did visit our homestead, so that was really nice to watch the kids go on an egg hunt and do all those fun things. About you, Carl boy, what did you get up to?
No, I want to know what kind of shit you put in your Easter eggs.
Oh, we did. It was jelly beans, those really good like Whopper egg things. We had some mini like foil wrapped bunnies, and then just some classic USD.
Yeah. How do you dole out the dollars?
We had we just put some. There was just some singles really. We didn't get too higher than a single, and I mean, not a lot. I'd say all in to the eggs was probably like $7.50, but spread out among, across like a dozen eggs. We had like probably 2 dozen total, and it was also really fun to like hide them all around the house. I always get a big kick out of that. And, yeah.
To kids, like anything is like $100,000.
Oh yeah. And they got their piggy banks and they were counting it all and, thinking about what they want to buy. What's up, Captain Awesome in Twitch chat? Welcome to the pod. Here we go. Indeed.
So do they get excited by small amounts of money? Like, do they not have a good sense of inflation? Is it similar to what we would have liked when we were a kid?
My 9-year-old is the thing that she likes and that she's into. She likes video games, and she especially likes the Pokemon series. And so when she wants, when she wants something special, it's usually a Pokemon game, but she's like current on all the current Pokemon games. And so she wants to go back and find ones that'll work for her DS that she hasn't played yet. And that's tricky because she'll tell me, hey Dad, will you Google, whatever, like what's a used cartridge for Pokemon, Diamond cost right now? And I'll be like, oh cool, yeah, I'll check that out. It's probably like $20 or $30. I don't know what these are. And you go on eBay and they're actually really expensive. Carl's shaking his head because he knows, but it's like, I didn't realize that they were $250, $300, $200. Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah. I think it's just a rarity issue, I guess. Carl, does that sound right? They didn't make a shitload of them, or
something like that. Yeah. There's some of those editions are harder to come by than others.
So yeah, she knows what a buck is, because she knows my threshold, right? Like if we're at the store and I say, hey, pick out, you guys have been really good today, or hey, you guys did all your chores. You each can pick out a toy. But, they'll each show me something for $30. And I'm like, no. I mean like an action figure, 5 to 10, look in that range, that kind of thing. And so I think the older one appropriately understands a little more than the 5-year-old. 5-year-old was thrilled though. And they also know that, it all adds up. So if they throw it in their piggy bank, they're just, they're adding to the pot. So.
The 5-year-old, you could probably just give counterfeit money. She's not going to know the difference. It's going to go lost before she gets around to it.
She's going to eat a lot of it. She likes to dip with pennies, and she'll just like line up a stack of pennies in her lower lip, and she walks around the house with a Mountain Dew Code Red bottle and just kind of spits in there. And I'm like, honey, you can't leave these around. Someone's going to mistake it for an active Mountain Dew Code Red. All right. And then we'll be drinking your
saliva. There's a real
disease
where people suck on pennies. They have like
you're right.
Of some kind.
Yeah, what do they call that? Is that the same one where people eat dirt and things like that?
Pica.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what like pregnant women get a lot of the time. They chew on rocks and chalk and ice and stuff like that.
Wow.
So yeah, maybe Lydia's pregnant? I don't know.
I would find that hard to believe since she hasn't received her puberty yet. She's 5 years old, you sicko.
I don't know. It's happening younger and younger.
It is, especially in Ohio.
You might want to get her checked out.
Motherfucker, here he goes. He said especially in Ohio.
Me and John had the best text exchange about... It was like all the different crime statistics for Columbus, Ohio versus... Denver, Colorado. It was actually
I was playing your game because you believe that like certain states are like a person is cooler if they live in a certain state. I disagree. Well, I think
that is true.
No, I think cool people can exist in any state, and I think cool less likely. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But I like Ohio, and I like Columbus especially. So. I don't stand for this shit. Anyways, we did have a pretty funny, ridiculous...
Super informative.
Yeah. Apparently, Ohio leads in arson nationwide. I did not know that.
And sex trafficking. It's like on the top 5 for sex trafficking crimes.
Right. It's it's one of the like best hubs for distribution of all kinds, like nationally, like trucking, logistics, stuff like that. It's an important sort of whatever hub. So it makes sense that they would be transporting the most human slaves.
Human sex slaves, yeah.
Well, they could use them. They could use them for other things, yeah.
Like what? Making stacking dominoes to knock them over?
Doing your taxes, stacking dominoes, yard work, sex stuff.
Patrolling the house. Yeah. Patrolling the house, making sure there aren't any Mountain Dew Code Red bottles lying around.
A really extended, really drawn out, year-long extended, way to kill people based on the 7 deadly sins. You could do that with them. Let Brad Pitt discover your victims. That's one thing you could do. People use slaves for all kinds of stuff. Pyramids, you need a pyramid? Boom.
I think a UFO did that in about 5 minutes.
You gonna lift all them stones yourself?
Listen,
if you ever need to
down. It's a landing pad.
If you ever need to rebel against a country and start a new country, that slavery that's one option on the table. Free labor.
That always seems to work. Yeah. We call that capitalism here.
I was going to say colonialism.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Still going on today.
Yeah. We're still trying to figure it out.
Their prison system.
Wait, what happens if you want to start a war? You get a team of slaves together?
No, you create a global market for goods where you don't have to invest any capital in creating those goods. So goods could be, salt, different agricultural crops. I don't want to mention the big one.
Sugar is just free. You don't
all kinds of stuff. Mostly agricultural stuff, I would say.
Hemp.
On the list for the episode today, and
I had a great Easter.
No, we're not done with Easter. I want to check in with you boys too, but it seemed like a good pause break. So yeah, we're going to talk about everybody's Easter, how they did, how much they praised our Lord and Savior. We had some fun in VR that we want to talk about, and I had a birthday that was exciting. I turned 29 this week, so we'll get into that. Our COVID vaccine reviews. A few more of us got poked this week, so that's really exciting. And Super Shark got canceled by Mark Zuckerberg on the Facebook platform. He got banned off of Facebook, so I want to hear about that for sure. Joel, what'd you do for Easter? Actually, I know, but I'm excited for you to share with these guys how you handled Easter. Because you are also a father man.
Yes. So, it was weird. We had a visitor last night. I don't know what it was, but there was white powder on the floor and what seemed to be human footprints through the powder. Really confused my daughter.
Tony Montana.
It probably was Tony Montana. I got the kids they're re-releasing all the He-Man stuff, like the old, classic He-Man stuff.
Yeah.
So I got every toy of that I could find, which was 3.
That's awesome. But yeah, you didn't.
Battle Cat, Skeletor, He-Man.
You didn't do the baskets and all that. You just had a pile of action figures.
No, we did baskets, but it was nothing. I don't get chocolate bunnies and shit like that.
What do you put in a basket?
Jelly beans and Peeps.
Why not chocolate?
I didn't go to the store. It's just what I just found in the house.
You found Peeps in your house, just chilling out?
My mom had stuffed that stuff in with a package she sent out earlier.
Oh, okay. There you go.
It's work.
There you go.
Yeah.
Recycling.
Yeah.
Good job.
For us, it's Zombie Jesus Day.
Oh, he's got his shirt on. There it is.
Yeah.
Joel was the biggest sharer and supporter of the zombie Jesus joke when that first popped up in, I want to say 2007 or 8, and then you championed it pretty much every year, because that's when you were in your, I'm an atheist, but I want you to be an atheist too phase.
He's still a little bit of an atheist evangelist.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to push it.
Well, that's what an evangelist means. It means you push it.
You speak at the event,
I have spoken at events.
Oh man, one episode we should tell them. We should get these guys in the loop on what your new theological studies have brought you into. Right, that's a deep topic, but I don't know.
Just looking into the witching world.
Yeah, Joel might become a warlock, which I'm told is an offensive term in their sect.
It's not offensive. It's just. It takes a lot of work.
He's been studying the Wiccans.
The bummer part of atheism is that there's no razzle dazzle. Sure, it's just cool to look at, and I get it. That's fascinating. However, I do believe there's a human spirit, just a feeling, a connection. Be as simple as going to a concert and everybody vibing, or a comedy show and everybody's just on the same page, or I'm a summer camp guy, so being around the campfire, there's just a certain feeling.
Yeah.
So I just looked into that more and got into meditation, which led me into Buddhism, which led me into the whole pagan world of there's all kinds of crazy things out there. And it doesn't necessarily mean I believe in all of it, but I'm just kind of on a learning mode right now.
You're sampling. You're tasting.
Yeah, and so I'll keep you guys updated. But so far, I've taken several tarot classes, so I'm getting good at that. And I'm a part of a new coven, which we haven't met up yet, but we've chatted a couple times.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, man.
Well, that'd be fun either way. Whatever kind of people those end up being, I think it'll be fun to see that play out.
It's just a whole nother, it's a subculture I've never experienced. And, we all grew up, within the Ohio.
Not being witches. Yeah.
Not being witches. Yeah. So
Joel's in the Dark Brotherhood now.
Yes. Yeah. And to circle back to Easter, one of the weirder, more frustrating things is I'm just learning that Christians just kind of took all the fun holidays and repurposed them. And this is one of those.
And then they all have that Puritan, the pagan, twist on them too. We took whatever Europe or Germany was doing and we said, let's make this a little more lucrative for some companies, you know what I mean?
Well, and there's a reason they did that because, especially in England, they had a lot of Viking pagans. They believed in Thor and Odin and Freya, and they're merging with a bunch of new Christians. It was new at that time. It was kind of like the equivalent of Scientology. It was just kind of hip and cool. And, we're one battle away from everyone still saying prayers to Thor in the United States. That's how close it was. And Christianity won out, and to make sure that people didn't revolt, they took all their culture and just Jesusified it to keep people on the same team. Really, that was the real reason why they did it. It wasn't a secret. But then now, as history looks back on it, it's oh yeah, Christmas was actually.
I think Christianity was so important in those early centuries too, because people were just fucking savages, right? If you ran out of bread at your house, you would just go murder your neighbor and be like, hey, we're all set on bread, and they had eggs over there too. What's stopping me from doing this? I'm gonna die when I'm 21. Who cares? People were nuts back then.
Retirement age.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of moral religions want us to think that, but I think at the end of the day, we were actually pretty chill to one another.
How do you know that, though, not existing back then? And haven't you heard the stories of just the debauchery that would take place?
Well, they figured
out stories with rulers over the people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're retelling history to show how much of a change they've made, so they're amping up the stats.
Yeah.
And they came up with religion, so they must have been, at least some of them must have been starting to come around.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's interesting.
I think evolutionary, though, the biggest thing religion was important for is if you have 7 tribes, they're all aware of each other. If they are all following a same set of ideals, they're more likely to not attack each other and work together, to your point.
Yeah.
But then what happens is then you get 1 tribe or 2 tribes or 3 tribes that are following A, the rest are following B, and then that's literally the basis of most of the major wars throughout human existence. So you could say it brought people together and kept them safe, but at the same time it also divides us even to this day. So it's just
it's all a fucking death cult.
Yeah.
I'm mixed on whether humans just want to go to war, and having religion is the most convenient excuse we have for it.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe there's just we would find something else. Democrats and Republicans will be going to war soon. I bet.
Sure,
we'll figure it out.
I think so. I didn't think that before last year, but
yeah,
if a real civil war happened now, I wouldn't be surprised. Dude, this week since we last chatted, somebody rammed a car into 2 cops.
I saw that.
And everyone used to joke oh, they're wasting all this money with all those troops up at the Capitol, and then there was an actual attack, and it's what is going on right now?
I think the last 4 years, having the president we had, whether you support him or not, I don't think you can argue that it brought some of the fringe extremists to the front, and for some reason they had someone they really liked to get behind, and they. You know what I mean? It just brought a lot of people out of the trailer park. I don't know.
Well, most people are dumb, so when you have a dumb leader, they identify with that leader, which means
but I'm dumb, and I wasn't oh, finally someone gets me,
Yeah, I don't know.
Someone gets me.
He gets me.
Somebody gets me.
I don't know.
I also don't like things that are different than what I'm used to.
I think we have a faith muscle in our brain that we have to have and have to use. Otherwise, there's too much shit that would just break our brains that we saw happening. If seeing lightning strike a tree and then you have fire like that. you can't call that science because it doesn't exist. So that must be a higher power. You know, I get it. I totally get that. And then, but that faith part of our brain, wherever it is, probably in the reptile area, it still works for things like politics and music and even ex-girlfriends. Like, people can overemphasize something to the point where it's supernatural. And I think some people think Trump was supernatural sometimes. Like, he was doing things that only he could do.
Yeah.
Like, he's a one of a kind type of a person. And
doesn't the whole thing warn against that?
Yes. In fact, there's an entire chapter about that.
Someone as a god.
Yeah. False idols too, aka red hats and.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I was joking around with somebody about how kind of early during his 2016 campaign, you started to see the red MAGA hats, but they weren't MAGA hats. They were just red, and they had white text on them. And then it said something funny, like it was like a fun parody hat that you could wear. I believe that right now, like, I don't even think you can wear the parody hats. Like, I think there's a chance that, and maybe not now more than like during this last election or when things were really heated, not that anything's necessarily cooled down, but I think it was kind of a funny idea that it's like, even wearing the parody hat now that just says, like, whatever,
Make America gay again.
Buy
someone
Honda stock or
someone got beat up by
Maybe
someone on the left.
Black Lives Matter.
Yeah. Yeah, someone got beat up for wearing Make America Gay Again hat because a leftist thought they were a Trump supporter. Which is the most ironic, some college campus party type thing. But
they probably didn't even apologize afterwards,
Are you guys familiar with Hamilton Morris at all? Does that name ring a bell?
Just real quick in the chat. Share all the clips you want. I think you can clip it on Twitch and then just link that URL to wherever you want. Captain, we appreciate you spreading the gospel. Go ahead, Joel.
Yeah. Share it up.
Hamilton Morris is the son of Errol Morris. He's a famous documentarian. Chances are you've probably seen one of his films. He did a lot of World War II films and things like that. But he has a Vice docuseries that's stupendous. He goes around the world, like deep into jungles, and culturally experiences psychedelics from various tribes, but he does it in like the way that it has always been done for like hundreds, sometimes thousands of years.
Yeah.
He did a whole episode on mushrooms, and there's this part of Mexico where they literally grow. Like, they were showing this dude had psilocybin growing on his mailbox. Like, they grow everywhere. To the point where like you just could reach down and grab some and you're good to go. And they were talking about how they had a huge culture revolving around mushrooms, and then the Christian missionaries came in, and they worship cows down there. And the reason they worship cows is because the cow dung is where the mushrooms grow. And so they would like treat certain cows like gods and feed them the best stuff and pet them and brush them and that's why the golden calf analogy is there, because that cow would create the mushrooms that would allow them to have their religious experiences.
Yeah.
And I was just blown away. Like, Moses was coming down from the mountain. This probably happened in some way, shape, or form, and was just sick and tired of people worshiping the mushroom cow, and like came up with different rules,
Yeah.
I think that's fascinating to me. How prevalent like psychedelics and mushrooms were. But you guys should check it out. He gets fully high. He just did one on salvia.
Oh no.
But he did it on salvia the way it's meant to be done, which is you chew these leaves and you just keep chewing and chewing and chewing. And he said it was the greatest trip of his entire life. Like, he was happy crying and dancing with this old Mexican shaman, and it was so cool.
The pages of time there, Kevin, or whatever. What was it?
Yeah, salvia was definitely the most intense.
Not for the faint of heart. Yeah.
Well, I thought it was just weed too, because it was at a house party, and we had been drinking, and so there was just like a 3-foot bong. I just turned around and somebody was like, "Here, hit this as hard as you can," and it turned out to be whatever, like nothing crazy, but the extract of the salvia that you would smoke.
Yeah,
and like it was I took a rip of it, and I remember everyone kind of looking at me and like, wait, watch. And I was like, what are you talking about? And then just like everything.
Did your vision vibrate?
It was the first thing was like somebody just turned off like gravity or something. Like I was like, wait, how did you guys do this? Wait a minute, wait, what is this?
You kind of got dosed because no one really prepped you for it, you know?
It was probably better that way, though.
Yeah.
In a way. I mean,
Yeah.
just jump in, just do it.
Yeah. Salvia.
Yeah, Ari Shaffir famously did it, and when he came, he was like out for 7 minutes or something, and when he came back, he felt like he had lived an entire lifetime, like got married, had a job, like was in this world, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, this is who I really am.
Someone needs to make Salvia a movie and tell a story like that, or it's just some college loser and he tries it and lives a whole nother movie, and then at the end of that movie he comes back. That'd be cool.
It's kind of fucked up though. You hear stories about like people doing salvia and then coming to like standing on top of their entertainment center.
Oh jeez, yeah.
Crazy, like, how did I get here? What did I break?
Yeah.
You know.
I remember being kind of aggressive about it. When I did it, I tried it with the ventriloquist friend of the pod, and it was just him and I at my apartment. This was 15 years ago or something, forever ago. And
in Hillsborough?
Yeah, in Hillsborough. And I read all the internet instructions on how to do it and bought it off the internet because it was legal to do so. And we were doing it, and when it was my turn, I remember like feeling like I was bound by like my mouth and hands and arms, and I couldn't move and all this.
All your muscles kind of like tighten up, and they start doing things like without you controlling them.
And basically, like, I fell back through the couch and was being tied back into the couch and sort of like looking out of a trunk or something that was closing. And it was my brother, and he's laughing. Yeah, he's like laughing at me and stuff because I don't know what's going on. And I'm zooming out further, and I finally start to come back too, and he's still like laughing at me and pointing at me and stuff. And I remember just getting pissed at him and being like, "What's so fucking funny, man? Like, what are you laughing at? Like, funny how? Funny like a clown? Like, what is funny? What are you laughing about?" And he had to like calm me down before he could explain. Like, no, wait, remember you just did salvia? Like, remember that? And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, no, I remember. We're having a good time tonight. You know, like it was not something I'm interested in doing again.
Yeah. No, that's 20-year-old shit.
For sure. That's a young man's game.
There's a YouTube channel called Gardening on Salvia, and the guy, he's got like the classic hat and like the gloves, and he's like in front of a garden. He's like, all right, guys, if you haven't watched my show before, I'm going to smoke salvia, and then we're going to do some gardening together. And then every single time he just smokes and lays on the ground and talks to himself, and no gardening happens at all.
Pisses his pants and just kind of wiggles in the dirt. Yeah. I love it. Carl, we didn't get to your Easter adventures. Were you able to get into some ham or find yourself with a chocolate egg or anything like that?
I had some chocolates. I got some of the Whoppers.
Those are good.
Some of the Cadbury cream eggs.
Oh, jeez, Louise, Cadbury cream. Oof.
Katie and I dyed some eggs too, just for the hell of it. Together.
Oh, that's fun.
And then we didn't do like a traditional Easter dinner. We just did burgers and tater tots on the grill.
Bam! You've been grilling a lot recently.
Yeah.
There you go,
dude. I love
it's that time of year.
Yeah. Isn't it the best? Just firing that little bitch up, throwing your meats on there.
Your face. Yep.
It's like one of the last dad break things that's like fully acceptable by all members of society. It's like, I'm going to take my beer, now I'm going to go outside, and I'll have some steaks in like 12 minutes. So you guys just get the table ready, and Mama, why don't you work on some sides, and
I'm going to drink as many beers as I can in 12 minutes.
I love it.
That's an American thing, though. You know? For all the people that don't think we have culture, that's an American thing. That's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
Getting drunk and cooking.
Getting drunk.
Letting men cook the meat.
Yeah. My grill's dope. It hooks up to natural gas on my house, so I don't have to
That is dope.
fuck with tanks ever or anything like that. It's just
You should set up a natural gas fire pit. That's easy to do if you have natural gas already.
Yeah, I like burning stuff for a fire pit though. Yeah. I remember you had that one that was like at your place in Loveland when you lived in Ohio for a little bit. Remember that thing? It was like
it had the glass rocks.
Had like glass rocks in it. It was like MTV Cribs when you went to Joel's fire. That was pretty radical.
It was fun, yeah. If you ever put anything in there to burn, though, it made all the glass rocks like stained. So you can't mix the two.
Easter's fun, especially if you got kiddos. I feel like that kind of sparks it up. We always talk about that around Christmas time, how it just kind of adds a little bit of wonderment to the whole thing. I did discuss with my wife this year as we were kind of getting everything ready about like, we got to have that talk with the 9-year-old sometime soon about just sort of all of the mythological creatures that keep coming into our house and leaving gifts and stuff. I just don't want her to be like 14 and like a hardcore believer and weird and stuff. You know,
that was me, man.
Yeah, me too. And I kind of wish someone just, I guess that's the way I want to approach it. I don't want her to have to like figure it out. I want her to be able to like it be, sometime soon. And just sit her down and tell her straight, you know what I mean? And basically respect her in that way and be like,
respect her mentality, her thinking process.
Yeah, because she has to already think it's kind of bullshit, but it's just like, it's like
she's figured this out by now.
And it's like
she's got the internet, right?
No, she doesn't, man.
He's asking you about Google.
No.
Google for me the price of a used Pokemon game. She knows it's not real.
Well, I know,
really
but she has to ask Dad to Google some information. You know what I mean? It's not like she has a phone and like access to Pornhub and stuff. Yeah,
we should start.
Is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, she is a smart kid.
We should start making pretty convincing like Easter Bunny sighting videos, like found footage videos.
Yeah.
Just to help a generation of kids like believe that there's a mutated man rabbit that walks around delivering symbols of fertilization to children.
Yeah,
he needs backstory is what he needs.
Yeah, I tell my kids
backstory of the Easter Bunny. Do you?
Yeah.
Has anyone?
So the actual backstory is there's a place in Wales called Ulster. It's now part of England. And they would have this English version of Oster. Oster's a pagan holiday. There was a woman named, let me see here. They have like a deity that's there, and she represents fertility, and she's seen 3 different ways. She's seen as like a beautiful, virile maiden. She's seen as like a mother, and she's seen as an old crone. And so every year you make a devotion to one of those 3 stages of fertility. And when Christianity took it over, they called it English Oster. Easter is where that came from. And then the bunny, there was many symbols, but those were the things that you ate during these celebrations during this time of the year because that was the most abundant. So rabbits, chicks, eggs, fruits, candies, those were all things, honey, because that was, you went through a whole winter without any of these things, and now they're literally everywhere. And so that's where all that kind of symbolism comes from.
And I don't support eating chicks, I think
you gotta dip them in chocolate first.
When it comes to chicks, you should buy them drinks.
Yeah. Yeah, show them a sweet lick on your guitar. Yeah. Chicks love that.
Yeah, get out the hookah.
My favorite are the Cadbury mini eggs that have the hard shell.
Okay.
Those are good.
Chocolate.
Those
are good.
That company Cadbury, I like their milk chocolate. I don't usually like milk chocolate at all. I'm more of a dark chocolate man, but theirs is good.
They make a caramello too, which is a delectable candy bar.
Fun bit of trivia. The Cadbury company was the first one to market like the Valentine's Day chocolate box, like a box of chocolates. And then another piece of fun trivia. I'm curious if Joel can guess this. Joel, do you know what the Easter Bunny is in Australia? Because it's not a bunny.
It's a kangaroo, a wallaby.
No.
It's gonna be a frog or something gay.
No, it's the bilby is the animal that they use in Australia.
Oh, which is a tiny, tiny wallaby.
Sure.
Yeah.
So you're saying saying you're right?
I'm saying I'm right adjacent. I'm correct adjacent.
Let's see here.
Have you seen that Legend of the Guardians movie where Hugh Jackman plays the Easter Bunny and he's like an action hero? It's a Zack Snyder weird movie. It's where all these like holiday figureheads are like superheroes and they have to save the world from the boogeyman.
Well, hold on. You're not correct adjacent. It's a rabbit bandicoots.
It's a marsupial though, right?
Well, everything in Australia is a marsupial, duh.
But it's kind of a rabbit, though.
Even the people.
Even the people.
Yeah, it's a rat. It looks to me like a shrew and a mouse and a rabbit, all mixed genetics. It's
like a Pokemon.
It's not as cute as a bunny. I will say that.
Well, those are some fun facts. That fun fact was brought to you by.
Oh, that's a Squirtle there.
Yeah, it's an ugly. It looks the most like a mouse, but then it has that ugly like anteater, whatever fucking. Proboscis.
Mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Oh, nice word. If anyone had proboscis on their podcast right now, drinking bingo, go ahead and check that off.
Here's also something I'm excited about is it's called It's a rabbit bandicoot. So a bandicoot is a small marsupial native to Australia. You remember Crash Bandicoot? I didn't know that was. I thought that was a made up, just fun video game word. All right.
No, it's a real
bandicoot.
It's a real thing.
Interesting. Who do we got?
They re-released those games recently too.
That's
they
right.
did.
Neo Cortex. Well, cool.
Did you guys know that actually, like people think that you brought Pokemon in Australia up earlier, Joel. People think that Pokemon are made up creatures, but that's actually just animals from Australia. Shigeru Miyamoto took a trip to Australia, and that's what inspired Pokemon.
No shit.
He saw a Squirtle, and he saw what do they call him? The
Eevee.
A Pikachu. Saw a Pikachu, Charizard. Yeah, I saw them all.
He's yanking our dicks.
So he was just plagiarizing Australian ecology. Son of a bitch.
I love it.
Same with Mario. I mean, that's just a plumber, if you ask me.
Yeah, I didn't know Italian plumbers were a thing until I googled
you guys
that.
See the April Fool that went around that Mario was getting canceled because he was such an Italian stereotype?
Why is that
really?
Stereotype?
You gotta be careful with that, Frank.
Also, spaghetti and meatballs never come up in any of the Mario Brothers games ever. So what are they stereotyping?
It's just mushrooms.
There was also R.I.P. Mario because of those two anniversary games that they released on the Switch.
And then
on
they
the
pulled them.
31st, they got pulled.
Was it because
3D All Stars and the 35th anniversary game, Mario 35 or whatever it's called,
which is like Tetris 99 but for Mario.
Do you think it's because he's a working class adventurer? Like, is it because he's a plumber? I mean, I know he has his doctorates as well, but like, what's the stereotype?
It's me, a Mario. It's Italian.
Yeah, but just being Italian and having a mustache, that's enough.
Having an Italian accent, a cartoon over the top Italian accent.
I know a bunch of Italian people, and I've never heard them say "Yahoo!" Never.
I mean, yeah, I have for sure. Our mom, when she does shots,
or if you go swimming with them and they do a cannonball, yeah, they will let one slip.
Yahoo!
It's like,
here's the way I look at it. Imagine if you're a little kid
guy's having a good time at the pool party. Look at him over there. Yahoo! He never makes these noises.
Imagine you're a little kid that immigrates over here and you're 12 years old and you have an Italian accent, what do you think all the kids on the playground are going to call that kid?
Fuckable.
Mario.
A cool kid. Yeah.
So are you saying Mario's not a cool name, or that
No,
it
I'm
is?
just saying I can see why. I don't think you should cancel Mario, but I can see why there's a weird campaign rising for that.
I can't
Apu's
see
another
why.
one. I watched a documentary called The Problem with Apu.
Yeah,
And
that one's a little
actually
more
made it-
on the nose, though. I mean, they're using every stereotype in the book. He
In The
works at a
Simpsons.
Quickie Mart and all that. And
Yeah.
the accent.
There's an
is heavy.
Italian guy in The Simpsons too. He works at the restaurant. It's like spot on.
Do you guys get a little annoyed when people say Mario?
No,
Okay,
Yeah,
I
I
get
think it's
angry.
funny.
I think it's weird. I'm like, dude, no, Mario.
I like it.
That's what Carm always says on Sopranos.
Mario.
turn off that Mario card.
Mario Brothers.
Oh, maybe that's like a Boston thing. He's in there playing Mario all day.
He's real
Yeah.
smart. He's playing
told
Mario.
him,
He's on level 99.
I mean, I'm his ma. I told him to get into the car. He won't stop playing Mario. All right, here's another one.
Well, Sopranos sounds a lot like Super Mario.
Carl.
It's like, hey, Carmela, what's your preferred internet search engine? Yahoo! That's what she says.
That's what it would have been back then, too.
Yeah, it's a time appropriate joke. Kevin approves. Here's another one, and we can move on. And we're kind of segueing nicely into video games anyway. But to be in 2021 and all of the success of Nintendo and all their different consoles and that character, which is their absolute mascot. Like, could you imagine being like an Italian plumber for real and having a mustache? And like, do you think they get like every house they go to? Like, do you think anyone ever brings it up? Like Joel, what's a real Italian name that's not Mario? Or Luigi. No, I mean like for a man that would have a mustache, Italian names.
Francesco.
Yeah, Francesco shows
Vinny. Yeah.
up. Vivasace is his last name.
Tony.
Yeah.
Tony.
Anthony!
Yeah. And you show up and you try to get
Just
your
think of a
wrench out
saint.
and get to work, and they're just like, hold on. I just looked at your card. I don't know how to phrase this, but you're Italian, right? Yeah, I am. And you're a plumber? Yeah. Yep, that's also true. Okay. And they just like go to the next room and then get their kids and they all watch him work or something. I don't know. It could be weird.
I bet there's at least 300 Italian plumbers working today.
Oh, probably more than that. Italy exists and they have plumbing, so
Do they have plumbing?
Yeah, all of the plumbers in Italy are probably Italian if they were
Probably
born
need
there.
one for those meatballs.
It's a spicy meatball.
Yes.
So some fun video game stuff. We were all able to hop into some walkabout mini golf last night, and we hadn't done it for a few weeks, and so this was nice. We played a new course, played 18 holes on, it was a kind of a spooky Tomb Raider.
It's like a Hot Topic course.
Yeah, did it have a name, Joel? Or?
Something goth. It had something goth.
It was goth course or something.
American Gothic.
Okay. So lots of cemeteries and caves and dungeons, and we had a gay old time just chipping away or I should say putting away at the holes there. I won. So that's something we have to probably focus on, only because the best golfer with us, his headset died, so he had to leave the game, but I played, -5 or something like that for the whole course. That was fun. Had a couple funny moments. Joel was ball hunting, and they have these hidden golf balls that you get to add to your collection, one per hole, that if you're waiting for your turn, you can kind of roam around the hole in VR and look around trees and behind things and try to find these hidden balls. And Joel has this bad habit of doing that when it's his turn, so he's off looking for balls, and
It's becoming a bad habit.
and we're all sitting there, at the starting point for that hole. Just, hey, are we going to move this game along or what's going on? And, I was giving you shit about it. And, it was just funny because Kevin happened to be standing next to me, also probably waiting for his turn to come up or somebody else's turn. And, I just, I said something like, hey, Joel, there's kind of a rule that, you shouldn't be ball hunting if it's your turn. You got to keep an eye on that. And you're like, oh, my bad. And you get over there. And then me and Kevin just look at each other and not a word was said, but Kevin shakes his head and I shake my head at him and we're just cracking up because it's like, that can't happen in any other platform, besides VR. No, well, VR is like, it's perfect for that. And then the other big one is we play with this guy Brogan, who he's really good at like some hide and seek, like peekaboo type shit in that game.
Very good at
it. And he always gets me. I always think I know his shtick, and then I'll go around a corner, and there was this, and he totally planned it because. And for the listeners, he's a pretty quiet guy. He's not a grab ass, look at me, I got a joke type of guy like this group we got here. And,
Kevin specifically.
Yeah. Don't get me started. And anyways,
I never stopped talking.
He realized that we were all close to heading to the next hole. And so he went and found a spot in advance. And
he waited there for a while too.
You turn a corner and there's a statue that's raised on like a platform up off the ground. And in between the 2 feet of the statue, you just see his little head just plugged in there in between the two shoes, like behind. And so I round the corner. I'm like, what? God damn it, Brogan. He's just sitting there waiting for you to see him and a little peekaboo. It sounds so stupid. It might not even make sense if you haven't played, but it makes me laugh.
So we're gonna stream it more. Carl, we found a way we can stream it directly to podcasts right now. Any of the VR stuff on the Facebook page. So
from the headset, wireless, no PC, all that.
We also decided that, Carl, you have to get an Oculus too. We feel like you would really enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. So I've been playing around a lot more with mine. I'm really enjoying it, especially some of the tinkering, it's like you can look at that thing as this is all I got. I don't have a Xbox. I don't have a PlayStation. I don't have a badass computer or even a shitty computer, but I got this Oculus Quest 2. If you just have that, there's just so much fun to be had. But if you have some of those other toys, you can start hooking things up and tinkering and seeing what you can get out of it and kind of push that headset to its limit. But, in that game, specifically, it's just such a nice, casual way to play a game and feel like you're kind of in the same room or in the same, space with your buddies. Kevin, I think you commented at one point where it's like, I feel like you guys should be smelling my farts right now. And it's like, yeah, no, that's not how this technology works yet, but I imagine you are farting, and I appreciate you.
I was in my underpants the whole game, and even though it's not part of the avatar, I still felt a little bit vulnerable because it does. It feels like you've gone somewhere else. You're all
really, especially when there's like 5 of your buddies all in the same space. It's very surreal experience.
Yeah. The other one I wanted to bring up for the Quest, and this is actually news, so if you happen to be a Quest owner, definitely check this game out. It's the beta version of Pavlov, and it's titled Pavlov Shack. And so this is the dumbed down version of the game Pavlov, which has been available on Steam and on Oculus Rift and HTC Vive and all those other headsets, the Valve Index, and on PC VR, it's been out for, a couple years, and it's like in contention of being one of the top populated shooters, which is tricky, when you're talking about maintaining an online game that's in a niche market, but then within that super niche market that is VR headset owners and PC owners, within that, it's a niche within a niche because you got that are also shooter fans, right? And competitive shooter fans. And so this game is, think of Counter-Strike type gameplay, with, real reload mechanics, popping mags out, slotting new mags in, chambering around. so Joel and I and our friend the Golden Bear John Hill were able to play that a little bit. Joel, first impressions, what did you think? What did you like? It is in beta, so it is clunky and it's got buggy, stuff, and it's missing some like matchmaking features. But outside of that, what were your thoughts on that experience?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that Oculus really needs to work on, and they've done a ton of work on it, is just UI, party system, that type of thing. But this game, at first it seems tedious to like, you have to reach down to your hip, you have to grab your ammo, you have to put it in a gun, you have to, like, what does that mean? Pocket, chamber, and then you can shoot. At first that seems tedious, but after you're doing it enough, something happens in your brain where it makes it feel super realistic. And to the point where, like, I would be standing in place but running, and I would just find myself running, like, in place just to, like, be that more into the experience. And it's super fun. I was telling John Hill and I, we were playing last night after you guys all got off, and he was
you went back into Pavlov?
No, just playing like.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
And he was saying how, like, it's really cool to be like, I gotta reload, and like, your buddies cover you while you do that 3-step process to get your gun ready.
No, I had
a different level of teamwork and looking out for each other.
Yeah, like we were all, so the mode that we played mostly, and it was so that we could all be cooperative and on the same team, was like a zombie game mode where it's just wave based. Bunch of zombies are running at you, jiggle tit, like World War Z, zombies that run and slash and are fully wild. And, for me to, be posted up in a corner and, putting in work, taking out zombies, but have low health and, grab my little pill bottle off of my vest and pop the cap with another button and be shaking those down my throat. And while I'm doing that, be screaming, "Hey guys, I'm, cover me. I'm trying to get some meds, I'm healing," and have your buddies, actually step up in front of you and start, peeling rounds. It just makes you feel like a badass, especially with Joel, what you were saying, once you get the reload mechanics down.
Once you get the rhythm down,
you feel like an action hero, man. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a whole new muscle memory. I mean, you can get down on your belly if you want to, like, cover a door while a buddy's behind you shooting over your head. Like,
I crouch, in the normal PvP stuff, you will crouch a lot. Like, so if you have bad knees, this is not your game. Like, you will physically crouch, whereas that's a button press in most shooters, on a flat screen. So it's awesome. It's really fun. And I will say that I was blown away with how good it looks
looks decent.
I mean, it's running on an Android chipset. Like, it blows my mind what they're getting away with on this tech. Like, I played the PC version for a year, off and on, and it looks good. I mean, I always thought it looked really good, and it's clunky in some ways, but you can tell it comes from a small developer. But they got all of the shadows and lighting right, and the detail is crisp, and nothing looks really low res. It has full mod support on PC, so you can play Halo maps in it. You can play Counter-Strike maps in it. You can play weird Minecraft maps people make. And I assume some of that will come to the Quest version, and they'll have a paid version that hopefully they work out some of the matchmaking stuff and get it working right. But the game supports team deathmatch, free for all, TTT, which, Joel, I can't wait to play that with you. That's Trouble in Terrorist Town, where 10 people load in, 4 are terrorists, 5 are innocents, and 1 is a detective, and it's just how many innocents can the terrorists kill before they're found out and accused and all this. And so it's kind of like, what did you compare it to, Joel? Like Mafia or something?
Yeah, like that camp game we used to play, Mafia or Werewolf.
Or, for you guys, Secret Hitler. It's kind of like that, if that was like blended into a shooter. And so there's been scenarios.
Hitler. I want to hear more about that.
That's a board game you would like a lot, for sure. That game is
board game.
Yeah, you would really like that. Anyways, like, I played that game before where it's me and 8 other strangers I don't know, all standing in the middle of, the main entryway of a mansion with, guns aimed at each other. No, you put your shit down. No, stop aiming your gun at me. Hold on. No. And everybody's screaming. It's like the end of Reservoir Dogs. And it's just a different way different way to play, your shooters if that's your jam. Oh, and then also aiming is just kind of a bitch in general. Like you have to aim down the sights. I mean, you have to sight up your targets if you're, you know what I mean? If you're
Kevin, you get to pick what eye is your aiming eye.
Yeah.
And so like for me, it's my left. And so when I look, it's clearer on my left eye, but on my right eye, it's clearer in the distance. And John, you were saying how you think that's a way for them to like get more graphics without having to produce all those pixels for both eyes or something.
Create a little more headroom.
I thought that was really cool. Yeah, I thought that was super cool.
Yep.
Either you guys would love it or hate it. We don't have to talk it to death because
no.
John talked when you played it on the Rift. But it's definitely a fun game.
Well, I still play Skyrim.
Yeah, Skyrim is definitely still highly rated in VR. Yeah, and your PC should run it and all that. But it's fun to kind of like get good at something that has a real learning curve to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not Call of Duty and they feed you kills and bots for the first like 5 online matches you play so you get hooked and keep playing.
What?
You didn't know that?
I knew they did that for Fortnite. I didn't know they did that for Call of Duty.
Yeah, they for the first like few games you play online, they have a system built in that guarantees you win so that you don't just play a few games and then never touch it again, So yeah, but no, it's fun to be like decent at something that is kind of tricky. It takes refining skills and going to the gun range every once in a while and be like, man, I really suck at that gun. Anytime I get that gun, I always blow it. So let me go to the gun range, grab that gun off the wall, figure out how it reloads, figure out how to manage the sights and how to line things up and practice on some targets in a chill environment. So yeah, Pavlov Shack, if you're on that platform, just search it in the store and you should be able to find it. It's free right now. They'll do a paid version sometime this year. So I don't know when we'll see improvements to some of the stuff. All they've said on their Twitter is later this year. So,
do any of you guys play Settlers of Catan? Chirp, have you ever played that game?
I've heard of it. I know Joe was way into it. Joe played a lot of Settlers.
It's like a resource management tile based game.
Yeah.
Where you're constantly trading with people or you're like secretly screwing them over. Mm-hmm. But they just came out with a VR version of that and it's the first board game I've ever seen like that.
Yeah.
And you're all like in giant mode and I don't know. I thought that might be something we might want to try sometime.
You know what blows me away is that there's not like a Mattel or Hasbro like just game and it's like buy the game and you get Monopoly, chess, like 5 or 10 really common games. Sorry, whatever. Just board games, right? Fun board games.
I thought there was one like that. I thought there was one.
Mousetrap.
Mousetrap would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be
Trouble.
Or icebreakers where you have to grab the little sticks and pull them out. Or what's that called? Kerplop or something? Kerplunk or something like that?
Yeah. Connect 4.
Twister.
Well, that's a little different, but board games, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then what they could do is make the app real cheap and you get like 5 or 10 games. And then for $2.99, you can add specific games that you like. And then if you have a friend come on, you own that game and they can play in VR with you. And you can have like 5 or however many people in VR sit around a table with your Oculus avatars and playing board games. And then they support like virtual desktop on a screen in the background so you could play like Netflix or music or something or YouTube like in the background.
Yeah.
Like if they made that game, that would just be, oh my God, I'm there tomorrow. That sounds so fun to me. But yeah, some fun VR stuff happening. Joel, you said, you kind of had your Quest 2 and you set it down for a little while. Kevin, I know you've been using it mostly for fitness and getting your rings closed, Beat Saber
meditation
and all that.
You gotta do the Trip app.
Yeah. the game I would recommend to Kevin, which I just got but I haven't tried yet, is it's called Pistol Whip, which is similar to Beat Saber, but you're just it's more like a shoot John Wick simulator rhythm game. So like you're shooting, yeah. Get bonus points for killing on time.
Sweat.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. Yeah. Yep. Melees are involved when enemies get close, and you're like on a track, and you don't have to like turn or run around or anything. You just kind of go through the course, much like Beat Saber, where the notes come your way. But I've heard good things out of that. But Joel,
I think obviously we should all play Drunken Bar Fight Simulator. I feel like that just taps into something that is like, Carl, you just walk into a bar, and your job is to clear the whole bar out. But the best part is how you choose to start a fight. So I'll grab a beer and I'll just pour it on a guy's head, and he's like, "What the fuck, man?" And then you go to battle, and everything in the bar is interactive. So you can grab a pool stick,
smash a chair on his head,
gumball machine there. Yeah, there's a guitar in the corner, and you just beat up the guys. And the more, like, if you're not clearing them out, then they kind of gang up on you. So I think it'd be fun to be multiplayer.
Toss them
I don't know. I haven't tried.
I think you can.
Scruff of their neck and
Roadhouse. The other game I think we should all look into is that professional bowling game. It's on sale right now.
Okay.
It looks legit. It looks like real bowling. And it's Brogan shared a link. It's on sale right now. So
do you know what the price is?
Like $15.
It's not bad.
Yeah. I feel like that's a general standard price for Oculus games.
Yeah. Quality device. I'm blown away. Speaking of Facebook, and the Oculus headset and the Quest, Mr. Shark, you had something happen, man. Let's get into this. You got banned off of Facebook for a period of time, or a perma ban, or
24 hours.
Okay.
Since it happened to me.
So you're back.
More than people would think. Yeah, but I'm back as of this evening, actually.
So hold on. So you just got banned from Facebook. You have been banned from the
Xbox Live twice.
Xbox Messenger twice, you said?
Yeah.
You got a little mouth on you, man, huh? You get a little trolly.
I'm not gonna put up with anybody's shit. And if somebody wants to go, I'll rise to the occasion.
All right, well, talk us through this. How did this happen, man?
So there's those local like yard sale Facebook groups that you find yourself in sometimes because you're trying to sell something or some.
I just want to interrupt real quick. In the Twitch chat, do we think we'll ever do a community game night podcast right now? Game night.
Yeah.
I think that's very possible, and I think some of these games that we're talking about, so long as we can fit the people in and the matchmaking is smooth, and we could just maybe share on a group Discord or something like that, I think that would be absolutely possible. So maybe keep your ear to the tracks on that one. Go ahead, Joel. Sorry.
Oh no, that's an awesome idea. We should totally do a Rocket League tournament. I found the software to set it all up.
Yeah. And
everybody can buy in, and we can even put some of it towards a good cause if we wanted to, but I feel like that would be a ton of fun.
Oh, hell yeah.
Anyway, I am part of a community yard sale group. Some guy wanted to sell a gas-powered scooter called a GoPed.
Okay.
No, I haven't commented on this. But he wanted to sell it for.
It sounds like you were having a long shit, is what it sounds like. That you're looking at GoPeds that you're not even in the market for it. You're not even in the market for that. You know what I mean?
No, and it's not like I would even buy it, even if it was like $25. I was like, no thanks, I don't need it. But I think I was just offended at the price because it's a 20-year-old gas-powered scooter, and it's awkward as hell. Like the motor comes off the right wheel, so it's not even symmetrical.
Right.
And put gas in it, and you can go up to like 30 some miles per hour on this little scooter. But it came out in the 90s, right? And so the guy's like, it didn't work for a long time, but I fixed it. I'm asking $500 for it. And so I go to the GoPed website just to get a value case on, is this thing even worth this amount of money? And the new ones are selling for that amount of money. They're selling for about $500, right? So I'm like, listen, man, a new one is $500. This one is clearly broken. and you fixed it up and it's 20 years old and you want $500 for it. And another random guy out of nowhere is like, yeah, they're collector's items. They're worth like $1,200, dipshit. And I was like,
oh, he called you dipshit. So is that, are you being honest, or did he really shoot first?
He did. I can show you a screen cap of the whole exchange, but he, because Facebook gets rid of it, so I might as well save it for my own dexterity, posterity.
Sure.
And so, I say, what did he say? He said it's a collector's item. It's probably worth $1,200. Dipshit is what he said.
Mm-hmm.
And I said,
it's probably what his voice sounds like too.
I said, sounds like you don't know what you're talking about, dick nose. I called him dick nose.
That's a good one.
And then instantaneously, Facebook was like, this goes against our bullying and harassment community standards. And
they called you dipshit, though. I mean,
he got taken down too, though. We both got sent to the principal's office, but, yeah, that was the story. I called somebody a dick nose, which is one of my favorite things to call somebody.
The bots gotcha, right? Like, I mean, that has to be an automated, program that runs.
For sure.
It's interesting.
Or someone else reported it, or he reported it. That's the other way.
Well, he wouldn't report it because he called you names first.
Yeah, my favorite, and I've told this story before, is on Xbox when...
Yeah, tell this one.
Has everyone played Sea of Thieves at some point? I feel like everyone's dabbled in Sea of Thieves. So, we try not to be aggressors in that. Me and Brogan and Toast have been playing every once in a while. And this guy was parked at the outpost. That's where you turn in all your shit for money and gold and everything like that. And he was in a single sloop. And me and Brogan had a ton of shit to turn in. And it was like, we gotta get rid of this guy, but I don't want to start a big fight right now because that never ends in someone clearly becoming the champion. And so I get in his boat, I get it going in one direction, and then I bail. And I just send his boat without anybody on it towards the sunset,
Yeah.
Which means he's gonna have to prioritize getting his boat back. And when he does, he's gonna be far, far away from us, and we can do all the turning in of shit that we want to, right?
Right. The game has a system where if you lose your boat or you're far from your boat or whatever, a mermaid will appear.
Yeah,
and you can swim out to the mermaid, and then they'll get you back to your ship. But yeah.
So he messages me. And he's like, ha ha ha, that's hilarious. Hey, I'm a pretty famous streamer. So if you want to follow my stream, that was pretty funny. He was actually kind of being not aggro about it.
Yeah.
And so then the message I sent back to him was, and this was the problem, never sent a message on Xbox Live.
They read it all, man. Those robots want it peaceful out there.
I was like, oh, this is weird. The only thing I find when I look this up is gay porn. And then I got banned for a good week on that one.
Yeah.
But there's nothing wrong with gay porn, guys. That is literally all I could find.
It's not, and you committed a hate crime by saying, you were saying basically all I could find was gay porn in a derogatory manner, meaning that homosexual pornography, pornog is. Anyways, we can go down that road later. What's funny is
pornography.
Pornography. It's so funny what a peaceful, family-friendly, sterilized world the online gaming communities they try the rules they try to impose on people. If anyone younger is listening to this, back in 2003 or 4 when they flipped the on switch for Xbox Live, it was all mics are a go and Halo 2, and if you wanted to talk whatever trash you wanted to talk, you had full reign, and it was pretty toxic. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It was more often than not you would. Somebody
I said some things.
Yes,
I said some things.
Yeah.
I've been with you.
Different times.
Things. Yeah. It was a different time. I remember playing with a friend of ours. His name rhymes with Mark, and he would just decimate people verbally. I'd never seen anybody do it as well.
Yeah.
But in the early days, like Halo 2, you had to talk to each other. Like there wasn't an option to have party chat then. It was like
I think
you had what was called team chat, which you'd push one button and then you can only talk to your team. But otherwise, it was proximity chat. You know, if your avatar's relatively within the same space as someone else, they're going to hear whatever you said. Which in Halo 2 was great because if you killed someone, you'd hear like "son of a bitch," and then they die.
Well, it was cool too because you would kill someone and their body would lay there for the respawn timer while your audio and your body was near theirs, and so then they couldn't talk, but you could say whatever you wanted and teabag them, like, and they had no choice but to listen to it. You know what I mean? So you could have a lot of fun with that too. But yeah, it was a different time, and I think it's funny that they try to clean up these spaces and these systems so that it's reasonable, but I mean, it's like if you're game to talk shit and I'm game to talk shit, I think they should allow it. I don't think they should, whoa, boys, break it up. And he talks shit worse than you, so you're the one that's banned. Like, I don't know. I think they should.
It's a weird step to take, and I mean, honestly, don't see that going away. I don't know. There would have to be a new sort of movement of like, and we've talked about this a lot. It's been, I think, a big theme of at least whenever I'm on the podcast, which is just like, I'd rather be in a society of forgiveness and like, you know, let's just like, let's use this the way it was intended to be used. But I think it is weird the level of like people policing, like just human interaction policing that's going on right now.
I never minded either. I was decent at the game, especially in the early days of the game, because all we did was play Halo 1, and so we've been training for Halo 2, you know, forever, and when it came out, it was like, okay, you're a whiny kid and you want to scream at me, but scoreboard, you know what I mean? Like, you can call me whatever you want. Me and my team just kicked your ass, so, you know, you can freak out if you want, but we are still playing a game, and this is not a rap battle, so I win, you know. And then I would always just go along with whatever they say, you know. Oh man, you probably suck your dad's dick or whatever. I'd be like, well, you know, there was that one time, and I would just be real calm and metered. Yeah.
You are cream of Egbert.
It's pretty big. I did it though. You're right.
You guys ever thought about if you were to get a tattoo of your gamer tag, what would it look like?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Let's go around. Carl?
What would it look like?
Like, if you were to get the perfect tattoo of something that represented your online persona, what would it look like?
Well, first say your handle, Carl. What's your online handle?
Your preferred handle.
It's Captain Green Jeans, so it'd just be a pair of green jeans.
Yeah, but it would be on a captain, right?
I guess.
What if it was Gene Simmons with a green face wearing a captain's hat?
Fuck Gene Simmons. I hate that guy.
Yeah, he's apparently an asshole.
Like a military, you know, a bunch of stars, but it's a badge, but it's weed or something.
Ooh, Captain like Green Jeans. That's pretty good.
Instead of stars, it's like that is a cool idea.
It's a little weed.
Get the lapels put on your shoulders like a real captain.
Yeah. I like it. Kevin, what's your online handle?
So yeah, nude janitor, I guess it would just be some mop and bucket on my dick or something. I don't know.
Exactly what I am.
Maybe on your butt cheek, like
yeah.
Maybe. Oh, here you go.
Behind that game too.
No, here you go. Here it is, Kevin. It's on your butt cheek, and it's the little placard thing that they stand up that says "slippery when wet."
That's good.
Yep. Come on!
Someone mopped here recently. Yeah, I like that one.
And it has the classic human body walking, and there's like an X over the genitals area. You know,
they're falling. Yeah.
Kevin's handle got banned.
Kind of, yeah. Somebody complained, or it was in a random, just the word nude. And so the solution to it is I'm still nude janitor, but now it's spelled wrong.
Yeah.
So, thanks, heroes.
Yeah, good job improving the world. Let's see, cream of Egbert. I think I might just do like a soup can.
Yeah.
and it just has cream of Egbert on it, and then just maybe like a
That's pretty good.
like a bald
You should do that,
head
actually.
in there. Yeah, that would be good. Put it on my ankle. I put it on my ankle so I could show it off at spring break.
Yeah. I've always wanted to get a shark fighting a bear. So I would do something like that. A shark and a bear just like kind of symmetrically fighting each other. I feel like we're all over. When's the last time any of us got a tattoo? It's been like, I want to say like 10 years since I've had
I've never gotten one.
Carl's still clean.
Do you not want to get buried in a Hebrew cemetery?
I don't know. I just couldn't think of anything. I wanted to at different times when I was young. But
you know what? They're also pricey. Like they cost money too.
They're not that bad though.
Kinda, if you get a good one.
Couple $100.
Yeah, I know, but sometimes my problem, like I always want more tattoos, but I always think about like what I want, and it would be kind of elaborate and by an artist that I respect and admire, and it's like that's not a couple $100. That's we're talking more like 500, 1,000, for like a larger type piece, maybe a couple sessions. Anytime I go down that road, I'm like, this money could be better spent. I could use this for like, I need tires for my car, just adult shit. So I was always a realist about tattoos. I have one, but I got it when I was 18, and then I think I got it like added to when I was 20 or something. So pretty lame. I need to get more.
Yeah, you're super due for one. If a listener wanted to get the Podcast Right Now logo, would you guys go in on that?
Fuck yeah, I don't care.
Sure.
Okay. I just want people to know.
Wait, we're gonna finance the listener getting the tattoo?
Yeah. How big does it need to be?
They have to pay us royalties.
Every time they show it to somebody, we get $1.
Yeah, we own their ass.
Especially if they put it on their ass. No, they should finance our tattoo.
Yeah, if you want to get a tattoo, a Podcast Right Now tattoo, it's $1,000 down.
Yeah.
And then $10 every time you show it to someone.
It's like isn't there a company out there that will pay you to get like your car wrapped with like Mountain Dew or Xfinity Mobile or something
they
like
do
that?
Yeah.
It'd be like that.
Excess Karaoke or something, isn't that company?
Sounds like something Excess Karaoke would do.
Well, Dave, the company owner,
excess car wraps.
Karaoke.
No, he did that. He bought a cool wrap for his. He has a black like Dodge minivan, and it has my artwork for the company, like just life size, like, and he paid for like a company that does like vinyl wraps on vehicles. So if you ever see a red and black, yeah, it's one of the robots, which it's one of the designs that I didn't like, so it kind of burns when I see it because he liked it a lot, but I was like, oh no man, that was the draft. Like, hold on, I can do a better one, and he was like, no, this is it forever. I'm like, okay. But what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? Listen, guys, I have to hop off.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna spend some time with my wife. We're gonna watch like some Winter Soldier stuff. But
there you go.
I love you. Stay classy. It was super fun hanging out. Carl, I just want to play video games with you again. I love the idea that community night, whoever said that, I'm not looking at Twitch right now, but
yeah.
I think we should totally throw together a Rocket League tournament. I wanted to do that forever. I know Kevin will win, but I think it would still be fun.
I gotta learn how to play Rocket League.
It's not hard.
So do these guys.
What if we did
I need to learn still too.
What if we did a quadrathlon where everyone gets to pick one game? And then we score it out. So Kevin, would have Rocket League or golf, and I think that would be super fun.
Snow day all day.
Snow day on what? Halo?
On Rocket League.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That puck don't bounce.
All right, Team Kong, even though he got his ass kicked.
Yeah.
Talk to you guys later.
Super Shark, thanks for joining.
Bye.
Bye. So yeah, a couple things left on the list here. I turned 29, and COVID vaccine reviews. Who got the shot? Where are you guys at? Kevin's raising his hand. I'm raising my hand.
I'm going Thursday. I'm scheduled for
Carl scheduled. It's a good feeling even just being scheduled, because I know all the clicking and scrolling involved in, finding a place that's available. So, I don't mind going first. My experience was, it was pretty doable. Throughout March, I'd been doing the, try to get the leftover shots things and just cruising websites, maybe every couple days or something. I wasn't too religious about it. I'm like, I know my time will come. And so I got sick. I got pretty sick of that. And then I heard that they opened up the next, bracket, or the next requirement of, just being older than 16 or something.
40 years old. Yep.
40. Nice. And yeah, so I went to, this time around, I just did like a super dumb Google search of just Ohio COVID vaccine. And it took me to the, the state page, and I went through, this probably took me 20 minutes in all, but I went through all the popular, retailers that I was familiar with, thinking maybe they would get more and it would be more likely, or I don't know. Giant Eagle, Kroger's, Walmart, Rite Aid, Walgreens, CVS, all the big names. And it just directs you to their sign up link through their sites, and they were all out. So I was losing hope. And then I was looking at that list from the states page, and at the top was a place called, Happy Druggist. And it's a pharmacy, kind of a, mom and pop, privately owned jam. And I clicked on that, and it was yeah, schedule your vaccination. And all the days and all the times were available. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll go tomorrow. And 10 doesn't seem too early. Let's do that. And I clicked a few things, signed myself up, and then I ran and told my wife, who was working from home at the time, honey, I think I can do this. I think I just got signed up, and I signed her up too, and we both got it done. Pretty friendly place. Popped in there, had the kiddos with me. They were well behaved, so they got ring pops while we were there. Really friendly staff. Everyone that was coming in was in good spirits. That was kind of fun. So you saw the scheduling stack, the person before you, the person leaving who just got it, the person after you, so on. And everyone was just like, hey, have a great day. Everyone was in such a nice mood, because they were like, oh my God, I'm getting this shot. This is going to be great. I can go back on my Bumblebee account and start getting some strange, or, whatever your reason is for getting the shot. And took us back into the, maybe fill out some information, took us back into the shot room. And I was with my girls, and it was funny because me and the, I don't know, what would you call them? Pharmacist, I guess? Aide? I don't know what you call the person who actually administers the shot. Anyways, nurse. We were all joking about, the many times I had to see my daughters get shots, and now they get to be in the room and watch daddy get a shot. And so that was fun for everybody. Hurt the arm initially. I was good for the following, 5-6 hours. Later that night, I did start to get a little headachy and a little achy and just kind of tired. But then I also had a pretty sizable dose of, the edible, marijuana cannabis brownies. And so it was, I think those two were kind of confusing each other a little bit. And anyways, I went to bed much earlier than I normally would have. It was 11:30, and it was a Friday. So normally I would have stayed up and watched a movie with the wife and then played video games afterwards. And, been a real, night owl, but I went to bed, and then I slept till, 10:30 the next day. So I got all kinds of rest. And then the next day, I would say until maybe mid-afternoon, early evening, I was the same thing, just kind of kind of fatigued. Nothing that would take me out of any normal activities or anything like that. And then I would say after that and that night and forward, I was good to go. And then I would say the same thing kind of happened with my wife. She definitely crashed the night that she got her first shot, or I'm sorry, her shot. Oh, and I didn't mention we got the Johnson and Johnson shot. So that was just the one banger, which I was too happy about, because I mean the idea is you don't know what you're going to get. You just want to sign up for whatever you can get, and the cool thing is that one shot, it's going to take a month. One shot, the other shot, it's going to take 2 weeks. That's awesome that I can start, I can start getting back out there in just another week and a half or something. So, I go the whole experience, start to finish, maybe a 7 out of 10. It all seemed fine.
Yeah. So, same basic bullet points, I would say. I signed up, first I looked at the pharmacies nearest my house, and, Giant Eagle, Kroger, whatever. They were booked up for weeks. I found a smaller pharmacy, maybe 15 minutes away from my house, and they were wide open. So I was able to schedule and then do it inside of, 2 days, 3 days, something like that.
Nice.
Yeah, I had the same thing where the initial shot hurt a little bit more than a normal shot, and then kind of burned too. It was a weird injection pain. And I got mine Thursday, so it's been 3 days now. Still a little bit sore.
Yeah, same for me still. Yeah.
And yeah, I felt, so I got it at 10:30 in the morning. I felt fine for most of that day. Started feeling a little bit iffy that evening. And then I woke up the next morning with, chills, not intense, but just yeah, I'm sick. So I had chills and a fever for most of the day.
Oh, wow.
And, I was napping and stuff during working hours. And then 6 PM, it all just kind of turned off and I was back to normal. So, pretty psyched on it. Ready to, you mentioned 2 weeks. Is that they recommend that amount of quarantine after you get your shot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you get the one banger, or are you?
Yeah. I got the Johnson and Johnson, because I was ready to Carl's got his scheduled this week. I was thinking maybe next Sunday we would all be in a room together, but
yeah,
sounds like maybe we're gonna put it off for a little while longer.
Yeah,
it was weird. I'm starting to think now in terms of I can book flights, to places, and I can plan on doing this thing and not having it be a big deal. Had a little bit of a feeling of I don't know, we all I felt cucked by the last year or so of us just kind of agreeing that we were not going to do any of those things.
Yeah.
It was a little bit, I don't know what you'd call it, but it didn't make you feel like a very powerful or whatever guy that you're oh, sweet, I got this shot and now I'm allowed to live my life again.
Kind of sheepish, right? I'm a pawn out here and I listen to what the TV news tells me, and now I think I'm okay to have all my freedoms back, I
don't know what you're going to do, but it was kind of all right, well, I guess we did it all just kind of go away for the last year. And now I guess we'll try again, see if it's normal still.
It's the wildest thing, man. I mean, it's unprecedented in our lives for sure. In everyone's life. I mean, I can't think of another time where it was, oh, hey, for a year, shut the fuck up and go home, Buy groceries for grandma. Carl, any...
No bars, no shows, no nothing?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about bars again. That's
I've been in the bars, man. I've been in all of them, so I'm not worried about that.
I might go to the casino soon, just because fuck it, why not?
Let me know. I'll go.
Dirtiest place in Columbus.
Let me know. I'll go with you, buddy. I'm excited. My big thing is, I want to go to the movie theater. I want to go with like 4 people, 5 people. I want to get beers before. I want to get beers afterwards, and I want to Uber, and I want to just have a fucking fun Friday night, you know? Carl, I cut you off. Go ahead.
No, what you were about to ask me something.
Oh yeah, just like, are you, I mean, like, do you, I guess what's your whole take on, are you stoked to get the shot? Are you ready to like?
Yeah. I want to go see family and stuff. I wasn't going to go see old people until, I quarantined for a while so that I could visit with my parents a couple months ago.
Yeah.
That's the only time that I've gotten to see them. I haven't seen my grandma in a year. She's been locked in a nursing home, not able to leave.
Yeah.
Or anything. My other grandma too has pretty much been holed up in her house. You know, aunts and uncles and people. Hanging out with you guys. Haven't hung out with you guys all that much just to be safe.
It's gonna be weird, man. I can't imagine us sitting around Studio J and all of us doing our.
We're welcome there.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll be able to be there, and that'll change some things, and we'll bring the smelling salts, and we'll inspire, you know, because listen, you know, we love Mr. JG. We're talking about our 4th founding member of the podcast, Joey G, and we miss him and we want him back. And I feel like, stop me if I'm, you know, talking out of turn here or whatever, but like, I think this is a real, just kind of, like, this is what can happen with personality X if told to not leave your house and not really be, you know, accountable for things such as going to work, having a group of friends come over in person, scheduling things, you know, going through a normal, you know, week of adult life. And I think he's in a place where this could be really good for him and all of us to sit down, fucking, you know, light a candle, say the podcast prayer, buy some Natural Light Natterdays for old time's sakes, and just, you know, crack into a big old giant podcast together and plan something afterwards, you know, go get a bite or whatever. I am very excited to get back together with you guys and Joe and everybody. And I think it's going to be good for each of us in different ways, you know?
Yeah.
I think the first night we podcast together, we should all plan on ending up passed out on the floor is how that night should end.
It's a sleepover. I like that idea. Yeah, I like that idea. And then we'll make, Joe can make us some of those eggs and home fries that he's so well known for, you know, some bacon and sausage. He makes a mean breakfast, that cast iron pan of his.
He does good onions. I like his onions.
I got a little nostalgia trip when I saw a post. I want to say it was on like Facebook Memories maybe, or if I was just going way back. I think that's what it was. I think I was going way back through photos on my phone. And Carl, you had shared a photo, and it was like eggs on like some buttery toast and some sausage and some hash and the whole jam. And I think your post was, or your comment was like, you know, Kevin and John are lame for getting out of here so quick, you know, because you stuck around and you got the full continental service. Yeah, you know, and I was like, oh, that's right. We used to goof around in person and wrestle in Joe's kitchen and look at you know, the hearts that he bought at Kroger's on sale and stuff.
Yeah.
Do Taco Bell runs and beer runs and whatever, you know, go to the Hairy Buffalo and you know, stumble into a band we would never watch and drink shitty beer, you know. I love it.
Get asked to leave the Hairy Buffalo.
I'm sorry. We are here clearly 6 minutes before you close, and you are trying to tell me that the kitchen is not open? How dare you?
We called. That's the thing.
That's true.
We called and asked if the kitchen was open, and they said, yes, come on down. How far away are you? 5 minutes. Yeah, come on down. And then they didn't want to serve us anything. They fucked up that night.
Yeah, they did. Fuck Harry Buffalo, and no one should ever go there. It's in
Glendon
County.
He also, the manager or whatever, he did that thing where he was like, I think they turned the fryers off or something like that. And we were like, okay, well, like, could you go check? Do you mind? And he was like, well, I mean, I'll bet you $20 he's not going to do it. I was like, just pretend that you're going to do something for us.
Here's what I would do. Here's my move in that situation. If I had the support of the business, is I would say, oh shit, and you guys called? Damn, hold on, let me go check real quick. And then I would run back there and I would come back and I'd say, you know what, they shut it down. Can I get you, let me get you guys a beer. And that alone, I would have been like, oh my God, this place is great. Guys, we'll get Taco Bell afterwards and we'll stay here and we'll probably still spend as much or more as if we got food, because we'll just get some beers and then we'll split, we'll tip well and all that,
They would have greatly increased our lifetime customer value at Harry Buffalo's if they had just said, fuck, here, let us get you something. As I recall, they kind of looked at us like we were stupid.
Or crazy or something for expecting something.
For trying to order food.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, look at us, but, still, we're customers.
Yeah. But, really looking forward to getting back into the fold of things. Last but not least on the list here, I had a birthday. Not much to talk about there. It was a real delight. I tried something new this year where I really went full Dusty Willoughby on it, and I just was like, what's up? It's my birthday. It's time to celebrate me. If you have a gift, bring it to me. If you don't have to have a gift, you should probably go get a gift for me. I'm your trivia host. I just leaned into it, and it was a lot of fun. I used to criticize folks that did this, but I had a lot of fun, and people were great. The night of my birthday, we held it at, I was working. I mean, I did a trivia show for Excess Trivia, and it was at Brewdog in Short North, so pretty much downtown Columbus. We filled the place up. They're obviously at lower capacity because of the pandemic, but we filled it up, and it was even to the point where people were walking in and being told like, hey, sorry, there's an event tonight. You have to leave. You're not on the list. You didn't reserve, people had to call in advance to reserve tables and all this. I saw all my regular teams that normally come to that night. My brother Jordan came, friend of the podcast, Zane, came over to my house before, and drove my new 2007 Toyota Sienna with all my gear, and I drove, but I had a DD, so he drove me back. People brought cupcakes, and I got some cool gifts. I advertised the night as, if you don't bring a gift or an offering to your trivia host, you'll start each round with negative 1,000 points. And I didn't enforce it, obviously, but it was great because some of the gifts that people brought were one person brought a can of beans and a gift bag. It's technically a gift. You're good. Some people baked stuff themselves. Some people bought, cupcakes and brought them in. One person handed me an egg. I thought that was interesting. I got a cool Johnny Rico pop vinyl from one of my favorite trivia teams, Squirrels Gone Wild. And Johnny Rico is the main character of Starship Troopers. If you're unaware, one of my favorite, sci-fi action movies. So yeah, felt real special, felt real special. We wrapped the night up, and then my brother, he was having himself a piss. He comes out and he's just like midway through, the bar. It's kind of a long bar, the way it's arranged. And he just starts clapping, happy birthday. It got everybody singing for me. So yeah, made me feel real special. So that was nice. And then of course, a little bit of that trickled over to some of the other shows, and people brought balloons and, little gifts, bought me beers, things like that. Felt like a real live special, human made. Yeah.
You're a special little boy.
Well, you know what? I was thinking about it. I was like doing this internal thing as I was like getting stoked for my birthday. I was like, you know what? Fuck them, man. I don't ask for tips every night I do trivia. I work for dirt, and, like I provide a lot of like fun for people. It's a weekly event for so many little groups of friends that get to come, and I'm just there with a smile on, even if I'm not in the mood to do it. And I dance around and I joke when I can, and I sing, and I try to get to know teams that I feel like are cool. I've made so many friendships over the years just through trivia. I was like, man, fuck this is mine. This is my night. So I just had fun with it. Good times.
Well, Dusty would be proud.
Yeah. And I thought of him many times because like, this is our friend. If you're just, tuning in or you haven't listened to many episodes, we all went to high school with this guy. $1 million heart, nickel brain, stayed in his hometown too long. You've heard this story time and time again. Too much time on his hands, time to make bad decisions. And I mean, we all loved him. He was a unique character. He had a ridiculous sense of humor. His energy was, completely like, it would affect everyone around you. Like, it doesn't matter who you are or what type of personality you had. If you were out on a tear with this guy, he would bring something out of you. And so we love this guy, and we've known him for years. He tragically died, how long has it been, Carl? Was it
2015?
Yeah, it was 2015. Yeah, it was the year we had, it was the year I had my youngest, and he was the type of guy that when his birthday rolled around, it wasn't, it's my birthday weekend. It's not my birthday week. It's like, it's my birthday month, motherfuckers. And he leaned into it, and I'm not upset about that. You know what I mean? Like, maybe the COVID had something to do with it. It's like, I want to feel something. I don't know. So, rip Dusty, you live on, and here's what I recommend. I think here's the takeaway. Do that 1 year. I don't care how shy you are. I don't care how much of an introvert you are.
No, because it doesn't work if you're a shy person.
Yeah, if you do it and it backfires and nothing fun happens, then I'm sorry. Yeah,
right. Normal people can't just advertise to a bar, a few days ahead of time. Hey guys, it's my birthday. I'm going to be at the bar. If you could bring me some gifts, that would be great. Whatever you want to bake at home, that would be just fine. You don't have to spend a lot of money, but just know that it's my birthday. I'm going to be out there Wednesday night from 8 to 10. Normal people, you just show up and no one would know that any of that had happened. So
I told him in all of the online promotion stuff, I said that, and no, buying your trivia host a beer does not count as a gift. Like, it's kind of outside of my, like, I'm not even bullshitting. The last 5 years of birthdays has been, we all have birthdays, whatever. But thank you. That was really, sweet of you to mention it, or buy me a beer or whatever. Like, I was humble soup on birthdays for a long time. And so, thank you, Dusty.
Well, I'll say that you're entitled to whatever birthday loot you can, you can call upon.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it. And I typically think of you as somebody who doesn't think a whole lot of birthdays. So once every 40 years, if you want to tie one on, that's fine.
Well, and I think that comes with age, right? I mean, once you're
29.
Yeah. But once once you hit those 30s, it's like, oh God, I don't really even want to advertise that I'm 34 or whatever. This year I turned 37. So yeah. And then I advertised everything that I was 29 years old, and that a lot of people lose all their hair in their 20s, and that, it's going to be a party. So come on out. Carl,
you're wearing horizontal stripes now, which is quite the achievement for a man of 37. Keeping a very trim figure.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm healthier than I've been ever. I think since high school, or I feel that way anyway. You know, since the fitness watch and the bicycling, and I think I can't wait to ride some bikes with everybody this summer too, as the weather gets nice. Should be good. Should be good shit. I don't know. I'm feeling good. Feeling good about life, boys. I mean, I'm at my high school weight. That's stupid. I mean, that's
cool.
Yeah, I mean, I just didn't think that was achievable, and once I just activated, you know, a daily, you know, schedule of making sure to sweat and do something active, it wasn't hard. It just happened.
Right.
Yeah, it just happened. So, good things. I love you boys, and I love this podcast, and I am going to be really sad when we shut it down at episode 200, which is just a couple months away. What are we at? 181 now?
Poll.
Yeah.
We did a poll on the Patreon to see if the patrons think that Joe has in fact quit, and they say no. They think that he's still on the pod.
Yeah. We tried to get him on tonight. He gave no reason other than just, you know, it's not a good night for me. So, and with our podcast, the way we kind of handle it is like, this should never feel like work. It's probably why it's a mediocre podcast or whatever, but we didn't want it ever to be that. This is all about us hanging out and having a good time and shooting the shit. And in a world where our phones control everything, we value the idea of sitting down and picking each other's brains for 2 hours. I mean, and we've talked about this on past podcasts. It's just like, sadly, that doesn't happen with, I think, a lot of, you know, people that are friends. I don't think they sit down and do this and chat and disagree and agree and, you know, argue or celebrate random things that they all, you know, collectively love. So, yeah, it'll be sad to see it go. But we still got a few episodes left, so stick around, folks, and we will get Joe back. We have had some negative feedback come back from the Patreon about our Super Shark replacement, but I'm sure he'll work out. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry.
They'll get over it.
They'll get over it. He's a good guy.
No, not they'll get over it. We need to get Joe back.
It's true. And when you get Joe and Joel on the same pod, things get real spicy.
Yeah, that's fun.
I don't know, man. There's only 4 squares on the screen.
That's true. It is a bitch to make it work on the stream, but you gotta break an egg to make an omelet.
That's right. Don't count your chickens before they hatch.
Don't try to kill 2 birds with all your pennies.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, man. This is the end of the podcast. I had an interesting night out too. I had a fun time.
Well, hit us, man. We can close it. Let's close it with your story. I do have to get a beer, but I mean,
it's not really a good story. I just we had date night on Saturday, and we went to Rodizio Grill, which is the it's basically Texas de Brazil. It's a Brazilian steakhouse, but they've got one in the Arena District. Ooh. So this would be a really good lead into like a Clippers game, Blue Jackets game. It's just right there, and so we went and got real fat on meats and cheeses. You know, chicken legs, bone-in chicken legs marinated in wine, and yeah, just ate our faces off. And then we went to go see Spamalot at the Garden Theater. So it was like a local, you know,
that's
live,
awesome.
Whatever. It was all right. Yeah, my bar for like a stage show is, I consider it to be a success if you know, if it doesn't drag too much, because like really most of the time you'd rather be watching Netflix than a live theater production, if we're being honest. But you know, it didn't dawdle. It got in and out in an hour and a half, and it was kind of funny, and it was basically just rehashing a bunch of bits, songs, and stuff that you all knew from from the most famous Monty Python movies. So it was good. It was fine. But Rodizio Grill, that's a place where you can eat a lot of meat.
So, if folks are unfamiliar, this is the type of place where you just like, do you flip a card there and say, bring the meats, red light, green light?
Yeah, it's a little stamp, shaped thing, but yeah, just red and green. And, it's funny how, cause I guess the restaurant was not super crowded. It's funny, like, how much they swarm to you when you've got the green light on.
Yeah.
Gauchos, whatever, walking up to you with fucking swords and sausages dripping fat.
Really makes you feel like a king or something, you know. And can you maybe tell us your, like, I guess your favorite of the night, the favorite thing you had?
It was either that there were a few good chicken options. There was one that was like kind of a buffalo, spicy, sweetened, spicy, whatever.
Yeah.
That was good. The wine marinated chicken leg was good. And then they had this glazed ham. It was just ham on a skewer. And they would cut you off a big slab of ham. And then they also had grilled pineapple that had gone on the spit. So they would just cut you off some slices of the pineapple with the char and eat the ham. And,
No cows? You didn't get yourself a filet mignon?
They had a steak there too. Yeah. They had a tenderloin, and they had probably a couple other cuts of steak. I'm not thinking of them, but the chicken offerings were what stuck out for me.
Interesting. I always think of chicken as like that's we'll cook chicken breast as like a dinner around here. You know, I always look forward to the cow options. Any sausage? Did they have the sausages going?
They had one kind of sausage. It wasn't great.
Okay.
To be honest, but it was sausage. It was sausage.
Nice. Oh man, I love those places. And you said you were hurting after you left?
Yeah. We got up and walked to the car, and it was a couple blocks away.
Oh no, you got to walk afterwards.
No, like I felt whatever, constipated or bloated. Like we were on our way to the show, and I had that feeling of like, I'm not in good shape to like sit still in a seat, and there's going to be gases and stuff coming out of me. But, no, it all sloshed around in the belly, and then it was a 10-minute drive to the theater, and it was all good after that. So
I always like to think of my body's reaction after doing something like that. Like the first few bites, all internal systems are like, okay, this is dinner time. This is normal. Activate enzymes, and then it just keeps going. And then after that, it keeps going. And I don't know. We've said this time and time again, but it's a fascinating machine, the human body, that you can, like, if you laid out, like, anytime I've gone to Texas State Brazil, the thing I like to think of is if I took everything I ate that entire night and put it all on one plate, I would probably like shit. Like, it would just be like, oh my God, all of that is inside of me. Like, how does that, like, how, like, what is the mass, what is the volume that a human stomach can even hold,
Yeah, you do a weird thing because, so like when you eat normally, if you slowed down and like spaced out your eating a little bit more, wouldn't eat nearly as much, because like you usually only need half of an American style portion or whatever.
Yeah.
And then if you wait 15 minutes, stop and wait 15 minutes, you're not hungry anymore.
Yeah.
When you go into a steakhouse, a Brazilian steakhouse place like this, you're actually like consciously trying to get it all in under the wire, because you know that if you stop, then you're going to realize you're not hungry, and you still want to pack in. It's a little bit on the expensive side. So you feel like you want to pack in as much valuable meat as you can before your body realizes what's happened.
Yeah, you're right. It's a mental game, and really it's just a lot of mouth pleasure. You know what I mean? It's the taste buds, and then it's like, oh, we'll figure the rest out later. Yeah. Oh man. Good times.
Mouth pleasure.
You know what I mean, Carl? Like sometimes you eat, like what Kevin's talking about, eat that first half of the portion, and you're like, I'm full, but then you're like, but this tastes really good, so I'm just going to keep activating the the taste buds and keep it going. Ride this fucking train to Valhalla. Good shit. Yeah, that's a pod, I think.
Yeah, that'll do.
That'll do.
We should maybe talk a little more about Godzilla versus Kong next week.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I think I want that to be my first movie at a movie theater because it has giant monsters, and I think that would be appropriate for a giant loud screen. So I'm actually putting something together this Friday if anyone wants to join. And I'll probably go to the Marcus Crosswoods up here.
I thought we were supposed to quarantine. Let's just be done quarantining if we don't feel like we need to. Is it over?
Well, no, here's the thing is people are going to theaters that haven't got vaccinated. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I feel like the theaters are spacing things out enough, and I'll still use all my precautions. I'll bring my mask, and I'm not gonna say here I am world. Are you saying I should put that movie night off until the next week or something? Is that what you're saying?
No. Personally, I'm saying I feel like just having gotten the one shot, I feel pretty much free to do whatever I want now.
That's kind of where I am. I know they say 2 weeks, but I think it's like you're 80% there or something, like after the first 24 hours after the shot or something. I think I saw some article like that, but I don't know.
So if you want to do Friday, I'm probably in for that. I'm an advocate of next Sunday being an in-person broadcast, but
I am as well. If it happens
later than that, then so be it.
And you haven't seen Godzilla yet?
I did, but like I said, I fell asleep for a lot of it. So.
Okay, and drinking beers too, and it'll probably be an empty theater. You know what I mean? Like it's not going to be a lot of people there, so.
Plus, you always provide a commentary for when you see a movie in person, so it'll be fun just to hear your director's cut of it.
Yeah, I get I get excited at the movie theater, man. That's my church, Turn the lights off, everyone. This is what we're doing, and kind of what Joel was talking about, those group activities, man. There's nothing like seeing a big old giant $200 million movie on opening weekend with, 100 other strangers, and you're all geeking and you're all stoked to see it. Like that energy is shared, right? Like all the laughs, all the big moments, all the wow moments. Like I always think of Endgame, the Avengers movie where, spoilers if you haven't seen Endgame, where Cap gets Mjolnir, and it's just the whole theater, everybody. Oh my God. It's such a weird human experience, right? Like, let's all go into a quiet room and look at the big wall and have emotions. I love it. Folks, thanks for listening. We hope you had a good time. Episode 181. We're only, 19 episodes, to number 200. Keep that mask on. Get on that internet. Try to find your shot. Be courteous out there. Be respectful of each other. Call your mom. Check in on mom. Leave no trace. Wave to your neighbor. If they don't wave back, then quietly under your breath say, "Man, fuck that guy." Any parting words from Carl or Kevin?
No, check out the band.
Yeah, we haven't mentioned nothing.
Bandcamp.com.
There you go.
We'll have something coming soon on our social media too.
I've been having a lot of good music-based conversations with your band's bassist and vocalist Hillary, and I love those types of conversations where you talk about not just songwriting or the specific instrument that is, bass and all the different ways you can play that instrument, but also production and how much goes into sonically how a song finally lands and how you interpret a song. It's like there are so many factors, and I think production is often one that's overlooked. You know, some of the recording tricks and things that are just like baseline rules for recording any song. So I've been enjoying seeing her at Ace of Cups. That's my new Monday night show. If anybody wants to come out and support the cream of Egbert, the Quiz Whiz father, that's Mondays at 6:00. And Team Bung needs you back, Carl. So you got to get out there, buddy.
Yeah, I'll be back soon.
Tight. Kevin, anything else before we say goodbye?
Nah, I don't think so, man.
Awesome.
Just remember, adults need bedtimes too.
This is
Sometimes
true.
you gotta tell yourself, what are you doing?
Go to bed.
Yeah, there's nothing else that you need to be. You want to watch something or play a video game. It's time to go to bed.
It's like that half of an American portion was your whole day up until bedtime, and then the rest that you're doing, those extra 3 hours where you stay up and just like jack off and look at play your Xbox or look at YouTube. That's all mouth pleasure, baby. Go to bed.
That was remarkably well tied together. Good job.
There you go. All right. Bye, everybody. Be safe. Podcast right now. There it is.
Monk's having a nightmare upstairs. I don't know if that's coming through at all.
You can hear like tapping and stuff, or
She's barking in her sleep.
Oh no.
Oh, Monk.
Yep. That's how it sounds.
That's hilarious. All right, Kevin, go to bed.